welcome to the closing beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday. A little bit of an odd day today, as we didn't do our normal Doe show. I did post a video instead about AMD, kind of a full overview of AMD. Let me know what you think about that one. That was something I had sort of fun putting together. I like getting into all the geeky stuff and kind of seeing what a company's really doing. So check it out. Let me know what you think. It's on our channel. It was the last video to be posted. If you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Dustin Tibbetts. I'm a financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. And this is our market update. We just do a real simple update. There's a lot going on. I get it on the screen. But we pretty much go over the good, the bad, and the ugly for the day in the stock market. So let's get started. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or anything you think we could be doing better. I'm always up for suggestions. Just be nice. And we'll go from there. Okay, stock market today. Great day, actually, for the stock market. I kind of feel like investors got this one a little wrong. There was some trade war news, of course. We had Trump with the new tariffs going on China. China saying, hey, you know what? We're going to respond back with $60 billion of tariffs. So there's a little bit of back and forth, and investors were like, I don't care. I'm still going to go buy the markets. They're still going to go buy up stocks. Now, it was sort of segmented how everything was bought today. We'll go over that. But you can see on the screen over here, the Dow was higher by 184 points on the day. S&P gained 15. Nasdaq was higher by 60. Now, we mentioned yesterday that if the Nasdaq were somehow able to recover all of yesterday's losses, that would make the bears walk away for a second. They'd say, whoa, maybe that wasn't the top. And so for a brief moment today, it actually did recover all of yesterday's losses. I thought for sure that's what I was going to be talking about today. But as you can see by the charts here, we'll go over to the Nasdaq. It did not quite erase all of yesterday's losses. And all that means going forward is the bears will need more information, and the bulls are going to be like, wait a minute, I don't know. That was pretty weak yesterday. Today was good, but yesterday was pretty weak. The bears are going to be like, well, you know, the bulls didn't take over again completely. And so we have this sort of back and forth. I would expect to see more volatility going forward. Remember, in September, volatility tends to spike or increase by at least 25%. And historically, it's a negative month for the stock market, the Dow and the S&P. Now, it's only the 18th, right? So we still have some time left, but for now, today was a good day. If we look at the Dow, of course, strong day, making new recent highs, not all-time highs. The all-time highs are back over here, but we're getting closer and closer. The Dow has been playing catch-up. The S&P 500 did make new all-time highs today, just slowly and steadily pushing higher, not really anything exciting to report. And of course, the Nasdaq was our focus with that really weak day yesterday. We did point out that a lot of that weakness was in biotech, so it wasn't broad-based weakness. It was just one of the heavier spaces in the Nasdaq that caused that weakness yesterday. So not so bad there. Let's take a look at some of the sector news here today. We got the semiconductors back above the 200-day moving average, but remember we said it doesn't matter. The fact that it closed below the 200-day the other day, we mentioned in that video, look, it's been doing that. Traders aren't going to freak out as much as if it had broken below for the first time. And so this back and forth right now really seems to be no big deal. It did recover the losses from yesterday, almost all of them. So a nice day for semiconductors. And then the price of oil, let me pull it up here. Price of oil, we've got the inventory numbers, of course, tomorrow. Wednesdays have been exciting for oil. If you're an oil trader or you have a large oil position in your long-term investments, Wednesdays have been a day not to miss, right at 10:30 Eastern time, causing a lot of excitement. I would expect tomorrow does exactly the same. It could be the day that we finally break out of this little nasty range here, at least get closer to the top or the bottom of that range. So the deal with this today was up 1.1% on the day. OPEC said they're not prepared to boost their output. Remember the sanctions on Iran, part of the idea there was, hey, we'll get other countries to make oil and that'll keep the price of oil down. Well, those other countries haven't kicked in yet, and OPEC said, we're not going to do it, or we can't right now. We'll get there, but we can't do it. And so, of course, that supported the price of oil, which is sort of a backfire a little bit if you read into the politics of it. But oh, you know, we'll stay away from that. In earnings, you got AutoZone down 2% today. Actually, I don't mind. It closed well off of its lows. It started way down here, close to the 200-day moving average, but buyers saw that as a discount, saying that it fell too far, too fast, and so that kind of pulled it back off of its lows. Not such a big deal there. In the earnings report, the company beat earnings actually by quite a bit. It was really nice. Revenues were what came in light, and so sales overall were a little bit light as well. I don't know. This one of those old sayings that when the economy's doing well, do these repair shops do very well? Because people are quicker to go get a new car, or at least a newer car. When the economy's bad, these stocks, you would say, tend to do well because, hey, people don't want to go get a new car. They don't have enough money to go get a new car, and so then they just go ahead and buy the parts and stuff that they need to get things fixed. There's a question of whether the hurricane's going to play into this a little bit. I don't know. I don't have any history to give you any decent stats on that one. Amazon stock was higher today, 1.73%. Apparently they're coming out with at least, the key word there was at least 8 new products that are Alexa driven. That could be microwaves, it could be more speakers, it could be gizmos and gadgets that go into your cars. The goal is Amazon's trying to dominate everything. They want you to just go and say, hey Alexa, do something, right? And so they even partnered with, I might get this wrong, I think it's Lennar Homes. They partnered with them to make speakers in the home. So when you get a new house built, you have the option of putting your speakers in the house, so you could just shout from wherever in the house, hey Alexa, play some smooth jazz, right? And it should do it for you. So Amazon higher on that. They've got an event coming up where they're going to announce it. They're going to try to do like the Apple thing and make a big deal out of it and have the big screen and everything and show what they have coming out just in time for the holiday season. Federal Express, or FedEx nowadays, closed below the 200-day moving average again on very heavy volume. So call that the volume stamp. So not only did it have a weak day, but people noticed the amount of volume today was well above average, well above average. I think 4 times the normal volume that it trades at. Earnings were disappointing, came in at 3.46 cents a share. That was less than expectations. The company now, in the short term, what the company said was, look, we were giving everybody raises. Here's what happened. The tax reform thing came out, and we realized we could pay our employees more. Well, we had a plan where we were going to do that slowly over time, and now FedEx says we've decided to speed that up, give everybody the raises much faster, and because of that, we're taking a little bit of a hit on our balance sheet, of course, but it's just short term. They also commented that the tariffs, the new round of tariffs will, and of course the existing ones, should affect their business by about 25%. That was before it was 10%, now it's at 25%. From a technical perspective, this chart scares you, right? If you're a technical trader, that is a stock that got punched in the face by a professional boxer. It's not like if I walk up and punch you and then you laugh at me and you're like, brother, is that all you got? That's crazy. This is where a professional boxer hit him in the face. So if you want to use that analogy, go for it. Okay, let's talk about a few other things. Did you see Tilray today? I'm sure you did. You got a lot of pot investors out there. $34 higher, or 28 or 29% higher on the day. Of course, new highs. I want to point this out one more time. If you're considering investing in this company, it's fine if you want to trade it. If you like the momentum play and you want to trade it, this is certainly one of the more active ones right now. I totally buy that, buy the idea of that, not the stock. If you're an investor, here's the thing. I did some numbers on this one. As of today, the company now is currently worth $13 billion. The market cap of the company is $13 billion. $13 billion. They only sold $28 million. The most up-to-date numbers we have is that they have $28 million in sales. Worth $13 billion, $28 million in sales. I mean, if we're going with valuations like that, then Jazz Wealth is worth $2.6 billion, or I don't know, $5 billion. If we're just making up numbers, right, that's the equivalent here. You'd never pay that, right? Your lawn business, your lawnmower, his business must be worth like 60 or 70 million or something. So just incredible, the valuation on this thing. Remember, the company, they had 28 million in sales. Of those sales, how much profit did they make? Any guesses? Nothing. They lost 22 million in sales. How is this company worth 13 billion? Here's the key, it's not. It's all media. It's all focus. When the media focuses in on a stock, you focus in on a stock, which means you go and play it and you think this is the next great thing. I hope you're quick. I hope you're trading this and not investing in this one, because you are paying for operational perfection for the next 40 years. I saw the news today. I see what they're doing, importing the U.S. Cannabis to the U.S. for trials, but that's not going to be tomorrow. We're not going to get the results of that, and they're not all of a sudden going to be selling crazy amounts of stuff till tomorrow. Think about it. They test it out, everything works, they ramp up production, they got to get distribution and all this stuff. You're talking years and years and years, maybe decades, before they get this on track. So not for me. I'm not supposed to give stock recommendations, but I'll tell you, this stock is nowhere near anything interested I would ever invest in. All right, moving on. Limited brands. This was one of our sort of, hey, did you notice this stock pick the other day? So we talked about that the other day, being the way it came off the bottom. That's going to attract attention from technical traders. It has continued to do that. 4% is another gain for that one today. Not too bad. Looking better and better. General Mills. So these guys make, obviously, cereals, but they also make Yoplait yogurt, or they own that brand. And they own Blue Buffalo dog food. Remember, they bought them. I think it was like $8 billion they spent on them last year. So the company comes out with earnings. Revenues missed, not very good there. They said they're still having a hard time with the Yoplait yogurt. They're having a hard time with the Blue Buffalo acquisition. They got to make money off that. They spent a ton of money on this dog food brand, and now they got to find a way to make some money off of it. By the way, most of the dog food brands are actually owned by food companies. Do you know that? Pretty interesting. It also took the Kellogg's down on the day too. Kellogg's lost 2% on that news, so that one came out a little bit weak. Netflix higher today, 5%. Looks like they tied HBO for the number of Emmys last night. Had no clue. Didn't even know the Emmys were on. There's almost anything I would rather watch. I'm just not interested in that. Union Pacific is your leader in the transport section today. Blasted off to new highs there. Looking good. And I believe Norfolk Southern, that was the news-driven stock there. That was up 4%. Micron Technologies, that's the semiconductor that's been beaten down, has been recovering ever since, looking pretty good there. And then your oil and gas stocks, your Marathon Oil, Hess, you guys know Hess, and a lot of the other ones, lesser-known names, did real well. Let's go over here to, oh, nope, that's the wrong one. Well, you get the idea. Those names, Apache, did well on the day. There you go. Another 1% there. Those guys looking pretty good there. The defensive stocks. Let me see. I had a list here. Your defensive stocks. United Technologies, we talked about that one trying to break to new highs, looking pretty good. You could take the other ones in the same mix. Rockwell Collins, we mentioned that really big, long breakout. That took place the other day and not looking too bad. Oops, sorry about that. Raymond James, we've been pointing out this chart, trying to break out or break down from this little pinch or wedge, as people call it. So looking good. Mattel had another great day, and Hasbro, the two toy makers that we've been talking about there. And then Harley Davidson was the other one. Just curious to see what happens when it gets over the 200-day moving average. I think that could be pretty interesting. So just a couple things for you there today. I think I covered it all. There was really not a lot of news today, by the way. We got the Chinese tariffs thing. The Japanese billionaire guy, he's the guy that's going to be on the SpaceX rocket to go around the moon. Never heard of him before, or I didn't catch the name. What else? Alphabet's partnered with, there's a group of car makers, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Renault, I think that's it. They're going to offer Android systems inside the car displays. Just another one of those there. And that's about all I got for you. Oh, thanks. You like the AMD video. Love it, love it. Thanks, Whaley's. Love the show. I love it. Sweet spot in the bond market. I think we're still getting there. Not quite there yet, Whaley's. We'll keep you posted. Why did most of my REITs drop even though everything started strong? Thanks in advance. Look up top here at the bonds, right? So heavily focused around interest rates. And REITs have had a decent run, Rob. So even if those had a small pullback, regardless of interest rates, it'd kind of be understandable, right? Nothing goes straight up forever. Yeah. Hey, Jason, for the Alexa thing, I would love it if I could be like, Alexa, set up my charts for me. One day, right? They'll be doing that, but there's so much I would love for that thing to do. Danny, when is the next expected interest rate hike? Is it next week? September. It's in this month. If it's not next week, it's in the final week, but I do believe it's next week. Maybe Wednesday is the day of the announcement. We'll keep you posted. But it is like 98%. All the traders that are betting on interest rate hikes, 98% of them think it's going to happen next week. It definitely is. Just expect higher rates next week. Almost everybody is expecting those rates to move higher. And also in December, I believe it's almost 75% of the people believe rates will be higher in December. Nvidia, not much. Nothing happened much in Nvidia today. Just kind of back and forth, waiting for that next move there. Lockheed Martin, yes, in the defensive stocks. Yep, that was one of them as well. Also doing well. Lockheed Martin, United Technologies, Rockwell Collins. That's it. Yeah. Did I say United Technologies? Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, I hope you guys all get the Alexa thing for Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate around there. I don't have one. I've never thought to get one. I don't know. What do you need one for? But maybe, I don't know. So if it could do extra work for me, I'm in. That's all we got for you. We'll be back with the Doe Show tomorrow as normally scheduled at 1 o'clock. And then, of course, the closing beat. If you get a chance, check out that AMD video. Let me know what you think. I got a whole slew of those, from Snapchat to the home building sector. I just think it'd be cool to break down individual things and kind of make it like, top to bottom, just what's going on with this stuff. If it's not interesting, it's not interesting. The things I find interesting, most of my friends just kind of like look the other way and wait for me to stop talking. And it's all good. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. A lot of work to do here, so I'll be getting back to work, and we'll talk to you soon.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.
Hey, wait! Before you go watch one of our other great videos, have you had a chance to see our new Fin Tips videos? They focus on one topic at a time, covering investing, personal finance, and anything that can quickly help you with your dough. Best of all, we'll keep it real short, because we know time is money.